Hey guys, let's talk about breathing. So I want you to put your hands on the sides of your ribs and sit up nice and tall and take a nice deep breath in. What you should feel is that your hands expand from side to side. So after a few of those breaths, move one hand in front, one hand behind, and now again, big breath in. You should notice that your hand goes forward in the front, the hand in the back goes back, so your ribs are also expanding in that direction. So super important that the ribs move, because if the ribs are static and don't move and you're only belly breathing, that can place a lot of pressure on your pelvic floor, and that's not a good thing. The other thing you want to watch out for in breathing is that every time you inhale, you don't want this to happen. So you can see every time I take a breath in, my ribs are lifting and my spine is extending, all right? So the way we want to breathe is just to sit up nice and tall and feel that freedom of the ribs in all three directions, lateral, front, and back. So before you start any mobility or exercise program, taking a nice cycle of maybe 5 breaths is a great idea. Really important that we move our body through a variety of motions. So we're going to do rotation. So keeping your elbows and arms at the same height, shining the light through your heart. We're going to take a big breath in. Exhale, rotate one way and make sure the arms don't keep going. You want to shine the light through those fingers back to the center. So this would be the light. I'm shining through my arms. Take a breath. Let's go the other way. Good, and center. We'll do one more time each way and turn. Good, and last one. That's rotation. All right, another motion. I call it the mermaid. It's opening the side body. So keeping your sit bones nice and anchored. Elbow on the opposite thigh, lift the armpit. And if when you put the elbow on the thigh, you feel that the opposite hip lifts, that's okay. You can support and use this arm as a support because up is always more important than over. So the other way. And showing both ways. You can go here if you're less flexible, here if you're more flexible. The important part is the pelvis does not move and you lift the armpit, open the ribs. 10. Alternating side to side would be a great start. So now we're going to go into upper spine extension. Make sure that all of the motion, just a little bit of motion comes from here. Most motion comes from that upper back. And really support the weight of your head. Reach the elbows behind you. And then come back to that kind of hinge position. And as you lean back again, make sure everything is not from the lower back. It's really from the base of the ribs up. Feels really delicious. So we're going to do a reverse plank to activate the back of our body, open up the front of our body. So carefully walk your way out. And you might want to start here with one knee bent. That would be an easier version. And we don't want that to happen to your head. So kind of looking straight ahead. And the more advanced version would be to pull the shoulders away from your ears. Tummy curls in, arms are straight, knees are straight. 5 breaths. And then have a seat. All right. So really nice and passive. Head is heavy. A little turn out. Soft knees. You're going to wag your hips side to side. And also a little up and down. Nice and easy. All right, so here's our hip flexor stretch. Super important if you sit at a desk a lot. So you want the knee directly under your hip. The ribs are pulled in. We're going to reach that arm up. And again, we don't want the spine to pay the bill. So get everything nice and connected. Curl the tail under. And you should be feeling a stretch in here. So holding that for 5 breaths would be great. And if you want a progression, you can press through the ball of the foot, create a straight line. And another little bonus would be to add some rotation from there. 5 of each would be great. So again, variety of motion, super important. So we want to move our hip up and out to the side. If the pelvis rotates a bit, that's okay. On that number 10, we're going to hold it up. If your leg feels heavy, it means you're doing it right. We're going to reach that leg behind you. It's okay to bend the standing leg to get everything nice and lined up. Take the opposite arm out to the side, balance. And if you've got a lot of energy today, we can bend, grab hold of the ankle, and take a little stretch there. And then we're going to carefully release, bring the leg around, and you're all set. So again, we don't want to use the spine to achieve shoulder motion. So make sure you only go as far as you can without having to use the spine to help you get there. So any amount is fine. All right, let's move the ball of the hip in the hip socket like it was designed to do. So keeping the knee at 90, trying to keep the knee at 90, not straight or bent, 90. Draw those nice big circles up, out, around, and down. So we'll do 5 in this direction, and then we'll do 5 in the opposite direction. And this takes a lot of awareness of where your body is in space. Ankle mobility, super important that both feet are parallel. You're going to bend the elbows and the front knee, making sure that back heel stays down. Feel a nice stretch in the back of the calf and press out. So 10 would be great. And then we can step forward and work on some strength. Single leg heel raises. And again, we want those ribs pulled in, everything nice and stacked. 8 to 10 on each side would be great.